El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, is written, directed, and produced by Vince Gilligan, who is also the creator and the writer of the show.
And it also stars Aaron Paul. He also produces it, by the way. Oh yeah, and just so y'all know, if y'all want to, we'll put a link in the description below. I don't really know how all the things work. If we can put it in this, if we can put like a link in the screen.
Yeah, I know you can.
I know there's a way to.
We've never tried to do that before. So.
We have a video about our favorite moments from Breaking Bad. We did 8. I know it's a weird number, but the way we started working things out, the best way we could do it was to have 8, because of time and stuff like that. It was our favorite 8, and it's some honorable mentions, our top 8 moments of Breaking Bad. So if you want to watch that, check that out. So let's go and get into this review. I want to start off by saying something, and that is I have a very big bias against the creation of this movie. I just want to say this first. This review could have spoilers for the TV show. So if you haven't seen the TV show, watch it definitely. Obviously, if you haven't seen the TV show, don't watch the movie. But
we're not going to talk about spoilers for the movie, though.
Yeah, we're not going to have any spoilers for the movie, but spoilers for the TV show. So I just want to start that off. So anyways, I wanted to bring up my bias against this movie. I love Breaking Bad. My favorite TV show of all time. I'm not in the minority on that either, right. Obviously. You know, so...
for good reason.
Yeah, for good reason. And a lot of people are so excited about this movie. And I really wasn't, because I felt like the TV show has such a perfect ending, really, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are like, well, I didn't like it because it didn't really show me everything that I need to know, right? But I felt like that was the point. The point of the show was it's up to you what happens. I thought it was anyways. I was like, but I mean, whenever I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like, what happened? What happened to Walter White? Did he live or die? What happened to Jesse after this? Did he move off somewhere? Did he stay here? Did he keep doing drugs? Did he get off drugs? Did he go to the cops? Like, what happened?
Did he start living on the couch of an ex-TV show star?
Like, all that stuff. What happened? And I felt like the point of it was up to us. And so whenever the idea of a Breaking Bad movie coming out that tells us what happens to Jesse after the show, kind of set me off a little. Well, it kind of turned me off a little bit of the movie. It was even announced a long time ago that Vince Gilligan was attached to it. He was a writer, director, producer, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have any problem with that. I was pretty positive it was going to be good. But I just didn't see the reason for it.
Yeah, I kind of can compare it to Toy Story 4, which also came out earlier this year. After Toy Story 3 ended so perfectly, and they announced that they're going to make Toy Story 4 several years later, I did not want that movie to be made.
Yeah.
But then when the movie came out, it actually created a whole new arc for Woody, and it really expanded on this universe so much.
Yeah.
And it was it told you why it was made. There's a reason for it to be made. This El Camino, this movie, I feel didn't necessarily do that. I'm not saying it was like a bad movie or anything, but it didn't really show us anything that we couldn't have already guessed after watching the end of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna be an idiot about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I knew every single plot point of this entire movie before.
Right.
No, I just knew concepts. I understood concepts of what would happen in this movie. And that right there is honestly my biggest complaint with this movie, is just the fact that it was made. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, and I don't want to get hate for it, but just my bias against this movie already takes quite a bit of points off of it. Not just my bias against it. Let's say I had a bias against it. I don't know how they could have done this, okay, at all. But let's say for somehow or another, this movie would have actually kind of stated and showed us why it was made. I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
So I will say that. I just want to start off by saying I'm cutting off a lot of points because of that. I'm sorry, but I am.
The same here, to be honest.
So I'm chopping off a lot of points for that. But let's get into this movie because it's good. It actually is pretty good. I liked it quite a bit. I want to start off by saying, obviously, you know, the acting, Aaron Paul is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, I'm like really mad that he hasn't gotten like other movie roles after Breaking Bad ended. So I'm just glad that he's getting some kind of work, even if it's Breaking Bad again.
And one thing I want to say, a huge compliment to this movie, is the fact that it feels just like Breaking Bad. You know, the movie doesn't really do more than it needs to do, other than being made. It doesn't do more than it needs to do. It really just feels like a movie told for the purpose of telling a story. And that's what Breaking Bad was, really. I mean, you have your big moments here and there, but overall, Breaking Bad is made for the pure purpose of telling a story.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how this movie was done.
Yeah, the storytelling really felt natural.
Yeah.
Like the actions that happened felt natural to the progression of the story. Other than other than like something at the end that I can't really go into, I thought was kind of silly.
Yeah, it has to do with him being in he's with a group. There's a group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like it was a little weird.
Yeah.
I didn't mind this scene if it didn't go the route that it went.
Right.
It just felt a little weird.
Yeah.
You know. And also I want to say this. I don't want to say who's in this movie because there are some characters from the show that are in this movie. There's one character that is obvious, and I don't know how to say this. I'm not trying to be mean with this, okay?
Right.
But this character obviously gained a lot of weight since the TV show.
Yeah, I honestly don't want to sound like we're fat shaming because obviously I've gained weight since I've watched Breaking Bad, so I can't say that's a bad thing. But considering the events that were in this show were flashbacks to when Breaking Bad is happening, it was just really distracting because he looked completely different than he did in the show.
I mean, the character did good.
Yeah,
the character was a good actor. I'm not going to tell you that character is just in case spoilers.
And I also do want to say that nothing to do with his performance because, like we said, he did great. But I do feel like a lot of his flashbacks in this movie could have been cut a lot shorter. Because really his purpose in the movie was only for one reason. But his flashbacks took up a pretty big chunk of the movie, especially the first half of the movie.
But even though we've already gone over storytelling, I do want to bring that up because we have brought up some issues with this movie, and I just want to say that the only big issue that takes off a lot of points for me is just the very first thing we said at the beginning. The fact that it was made and it didn't really state its case of why it was made.
Right.
And other than that, all the other issues we have are kind of smaller issues. They're pretty minor issues.
Yeah, and I also do want to say that the characters they do bring back from the show, I feel like they were pretty well written. They weren't just brought back just to be on the show or on the movie. Yeah. They had a purpose of being back. Yeah. And I actually really loved how they brought some of these characters back.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of a case of it was done for the fans.
Right, yeah.
But they're like, well, it's not for the fans, but I don't want it to be stupid.
Yeah.
So let's actually give them a reason to be in this movie.
Right.
And that was really cool to actually do, to actually see that happen. It wasn't just put in there for fan service and fan service only. And then the story I want to say was actually intriguing. And like I said, what's really cool is the movie doesn't do more than it needs to do. The movie never really feels like it's doing anything big. You know, it has one goal and one goal only. Right. And it goes through the movie in a really kind of cool fashion, to where, like I said, not a lot of big stuff happens, but it's still intriguing at the same time. Yeah, and it's definitely nice to at least see what happened to Jesse, even though I don't really think it's necessary. It was nice just to see his story after. Everything that happened at the end of Breaking Bad. And I really loved how they handled his trauma and his PTSD from being tortured for so many months by the neo-Nazis. And I thought they did that really well, just how they portrayed that. And what's crazy about this movie is that they filmed it secretly. Nobody knew that they were filming until they had already finished filming. Yeah. I think Bob Odenkirk mentioned it in a interview one time for Better Call Saul or whatever. And he mentioned I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but they already finished filming the Breaking Bad movie. It's what? So overall, guys, I really didn't have that many issues with this movie. I had a few minor flaws, and then, like I said, unfortunately, I know not a lot of people feel this way, because if you go around anywhere on the internet, you're not going to see my opinion very often about just the making of this movie. But I am going to have to chop off quite a bit of points, just the fact that it was made, and it really never stated its case of why it was made. But overall, this movie is actually pretty good. I honestly would recommend you see it if you've seen Breaking Bad, if you've seen the TV show. And also, I would watch it again. It's pretty good. What was really cool is we got to see this movie in theaters, by the way. Yeah. If you're wondering why this review's so late, it's because we got tickets to see it in theaters and we wanted our first experience to be in theaters.
Yeah, like we said, this movie was a pretty well-made movie. Obviously, it was by Vince Gilligan, the guy who did the show, so obviously it was still going to be pretty good. He's done well with Better Call Saul, and he's done well with this too. It didn't really bring much to the table that it needed to bring, considering how well Breaking Bad ended.
Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about Breaking Bad, El Camino story. El Camino, a Breaking Bad story. Let us know what you thought about it. If you agree with us thinking about how it should have been made, tell us whether or not you think it should have been made. And
we haven't said our grade yet.
Oh, we haven't, did we? Dude, we're all over the place right now. We are going to say that El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, is 85% awesome. Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and whether or not you agree with us. Do you think this movie should have been made? Do you think it should have been made? Why do you have your opinion on it at all? And just let us know what you thought about it.
Why do you have your opinion on it?
Why? Why do you have that stupid opinion? Just let us know in the comments below. So,
and don't forget to follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2 Awesome Men.
And as always, thank you so much for watching, and you will see us later.